This one goes out to all you newbies who have a hard time knowing what to do next once you get to side control. Today, I'm gonna give you 3 easy attacks that work really, really well, that are also pretty simple to remember. 2 of these are tried and true and have stood the test of time, and 1 I have personally made up and is one of my signature moves that I love to use. So if you're looking for more ways to win from side control, I got you covered. Let's dive in. Now, the first 2 submissions we're starting with are tried and true. We're gonna save my signature for the last one, so make sure you stick around for that. Our first submission as we jump into the example is the far side armbar. Now, as you can see here, I'm in side control, and I like to have my north side hand, the one that's closer to his head, tucked under his head or the back of his neck. My south side hand, the one that's closer to his feet, is underhooked underneath his far side arm. Now, what I want to do with that underhook is I pull his body towards me, so I rock him up on his side. As I'm doing that, I'm applying pressure through my elbow into his ribs. This is distractionary technique. It makes his mind focus on the pain rather than what I'm doing. All at the same time, I'm using my north side hand to press down on his head. Now, as you can see, I take my left leg and take a big wide step over his body, over his head, and I land my foot near his back. The trick here is to not stand up completely. When I'm standing up to pivot, I'm still leaving weight on his body. I'm still making contact to the best of my ability. Now, once I've made that 180-degree turn, the hamstring of my right leg should be pressing on his face, while my left foot is jammed up underneath his back, tight to his armpit. And remember, with any armbar, we're pinching our knees together, grabbing onto the wrist with both hands, and aiming his thumb away from our hips, perpendicularly, all the while squeezing my heels to my butt. And as we're doing all of these things, we're going to hip into his elbow, causing the break. A tip that I always like to focus on with arm bars, because I feel that certain ways of training this and teaching it can create training scars. You will learn that your opponent's thumb should point towards the sky in the armbar. That will only apply to arm bars where you and your opponent's backs are on the mat. If you're inverted or your belly down, the orientation of your opponent's thumb changes. And the best way to remember this is if your opponent's thumb is perpendicular to your hips, you have breaking position. So no matter where you're at in the roll, because Jiu-Jitsu zero-G fighting, if their thumb is perpendicular to your hips, you got it. Most people don't realize this, but your gear can either help you or hold you back. Now, I've been training in Jiu-Jitsu gear for a long time, and most of it looks good online, but falls apart when it actually matters. That's exactly why I wear X Martial. This isn't just clean designs, it's performance-built gear. You get a compression fit that actually moves with you, durability that holds up during the hardest of rounds, and designs that don't look like every other basic rash guard on the mat. Whether you're drilling, competing, or going to war with one of your favorite training partners, X Martial is built for it. It's lightweight, it's breathable, and it's made for people who actually train. If you're serious about your jiu-jitsu, your attire should match that. So go check out X Martial, grab yourself a set or 2 or 3, and if you're smart, you use my code IRONWILL to save yourself some money. Train harder, roll longer, and look sharp doing it. Let's get back to the video. Now, this next one, the Kimura, is one of my personal favorites, and hitting it from side control is pretty smooth, and if you set it up correctly, very, very effective. So as you can see here, it's a very similar setup to the far side armbar. I get that underhook on his far side arm. I then put myself into a position where I'm straddling over top of his head. Now, once I'm in this position, my left hand punches through the area in between his forearm and his upper arm. All the while, my right hand grabs his wrist. Now, once I have his wrist, my left hand that's coming through grabs my wrist. What I want you to focus on here is keeping a good bend in his elbow. Don't let him straighten his arm out. It's gonna make it really hard to finish this. Also, keep in mind, the closer you have his hand to his armpit, the harder it will be for him to straighten this out. If you give your opponent a lot of slack and you're letting him create a right angle with his elbow, it's gonna be really easy for him to punch his arm straight. So when you set this up, try to set it up so his hand is as close to his armpit as possible, putting that in an awkward or weak angle for him to straighten his arm out. Now from here, all you're essentially doing is twisting your torso while punching his hand behind his back. Don't let his hand travel far away from his back. You want to keep his hand close to his body at all times while you apply this twisting motion, and that'll put you in a great place to get that tap because you're building tons of pressure in his shoulder. Now, this last one is a signature move of mine. I've been struggling to name it for a long time, and my buddy here who's training with me today, Luke, helped me name it the traphouse. I absolutely love this name for this submission. If you guys have been following me for a while, you've probably seen me go over this one in the past. Essentially what we're doing is we're hitting this from a failed Kimura. So as you can see here, I'm into the Kimura from side control. And whether he puts his hand flat on his belly, which makes it hard for me to put his hand behind his back, or if he's in a gi and he grabs his belt, or any variation where maybe he grabs his leg to prevent his hand from going behind his back, all I'm going to do is essentially thread the needle. So my left hand pulls my right hand through that gap, and I put my right hand flat on his back. Now at the same time I'm doing this, I step over his body with my right leg, and I use the back of my leg pit, the back of my knee area, to trap his wrist. Now once I'm in this position, I'm sitting on top of his torso, I'm gonna gable grip my hands and fall backwards. It's a little bit of a trust fall, you're gonna be totally fine. And as I'm falling, I'm locking up a triangle with my legs. Once we're here, there's a couple things happening. I'm squeezing my knees together and pulling my hand deep into the pit of his elbow, which is going to cause a little bit of a bicep slicer sensation. All the while I'm doing that, I'm deadlifting. I'm using all my strong muscles of my back to deadlift his elbow away from his body. So this creates an unusual sensation of pain where you're getting the bicep slicer in the elbow, and it also feels like your shoulder is being ripped off your body. Now, as a disclaimer, this one is pretty brutal. So I want you to give your opponent, usually your training partner, time to tap, right? We're not out here to hurt our training partners. We are teammates. We are here to help each other grow. So do this and just know that you got to give your opponent time to tap. Don't rip this. Don't be explosive with it unless it's a self-defense scenario, right? You want to be good to your training partners, but this is very effective. I haven't found anybody to solve this one yet. Anytime I lock it up, I'm getting the tap. And the cherry on top is that it doesn't cost a lot of energy to create this amount of pain. And those are 3 easy to remember, simple to use submissions from side control. If you guys are struggling in other positions and you want submissions or attacks from those positions, drop them in the comments. It's likely that I can use your comment for a new video. And I always appreciate you guys who've been training for a while, dropping your knowledge in the comments. We're all learning from each other, including myself. You know, those of you that don't know, I recently got my black belt. And all that means is that the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. So I appreciate you guys. New videos every Monday. You know how we like to end them, sometimes backwards, always forwards. I'll see you in the next one.